Hello and welcome to Mad About Sports. Of course, it is the World Cup quarter final time, and of course, the pressure will be mounting on every player for sure. Do you ever wonder how do these players handle this pressure, and how do these big players step up when the stakes are high? And do you want to know what really goes in the mind of an elite athlete or an elite football player? Of course, you want to know more about it. Check out the sports psychology course run by Mad About Sports. It's a 5-day workshop. You'll get absolute insights into what goes inside the mind of a player. How do these players tackle pressure situations? How do these players really bring their A game to the fore? So the link is in the bio and do check that out. So as we get into the video, we are going to be previewing the quarter final of the World Cup and the two mega clashes. It is of course Argentina taking on the Netherlands and French national team taking on England. So let's get going, isn't it? Let's talk about the first game. It is Argentina taking on the Netherlands. Of course, Argentina, after their shocking loss to Saudi Arabia, have come a long way into the tournament and they've been having a very good time. They've had victories against Poland, Mexico, and Australia. Against Australia, of course, they were tested in occasion, especially towards the latter half of the game. And Emiliano Martinez pulled up a couple of big saves, and Leo Messi stepping up for them again. And the Dutchmen are extremely confident. You also remember Louis van Gaal making the statements as to they want to get the better of Argentina to what they did against them in 2014 semi-final. So the build-up has been exciting. Let's look at the players to watch out for, right? Because Leo Messi is in cusp of breaking some big records. The comparison with him and Maradona has always been there in Argentina. So let's look at it. When it comes to chances created between Maradona and Leo Messi, it's almost on par. It is 67 chances created. And when it comes to chances created in open play, it's 48. It's on par as well. Touches opposite to box, it is 103 each. Goals plus assists, that is a record which Leo Messi is very close to breaking off Diego Maradona in the World Cup. It is Leo Messi has 15 and Diego Maradona has 16. And dribble attempts is 194. It's 194 and 188. So both legends of their own generation. One has won the World Cup for Argentina, and Leo Messi is in the chase of winning the World Cup for Argentina. So, of course, this is a huge record which is beckoning Leo Messi. And if Leo Messi goes on to break Maradona's record of the goals plus assists, remember that Argentina will be having a very good game also. So this is a very exciting game in the hand for that. But when it comes to the Dutch camp, who's a player to watch out for? Because one player is always captured the eyeballs of many, right? Because in the season, even with PSV Eindhoven, he's had a very good season. It is none other than Cody Gakpo. What makes Cody Gakpo a very special player? This World Cup, he scored 3 goals. Now, if you look at all the 3 goals, he's gotten into very important positions. Remember his goal against Senegal in the first game, where he absolutely got the better of Edouard Mendy. He came front and blinded Edouard Mendy. He's good in getting into positions, and also there are occasions where he drifts wide, makes Memphis plays through the center. That makes him a very good link up. That also creates a very good link up play with Memphis Depay. The good thing about the Dutch team is the fluidity of their attack. The fluidity remains very constant, right? When you have a player like Memphis Depay, Gakpo, and also Denzel Dumfries, the inter-switching between these players, especially in the attacking transition, which makes them an attacking five in transition, makes them a very strong team. And remember, this Dutch team has been on a high. There have been few exciting players to watch out for. We know, of course, of Cody Gakpo, and of course, Cody Gakpo will be one player which Otamendi and also someone like Lisandro Martinez and also Romero will have an eye on when they come, because Cody Gakpo can really beat them with pace and technique, and also him trying to penetrate through the defense with some balls in, and also him trying to drift wide, coming through centrally. Fluidity is something which the Dutch team has carried on brilliantly through the course of this World Cup. But let's look at another player, right? Another player is Denzel Dumfries. What makes Denzel Dumfries an attacking threat for the Dutch team in this World Cup? If you look at Denzel Dumfries, he has been outstanding for Inter Milan, even in the Champions League this season. And remember that his work rate, what he gives on the right hand side, is going to be so important for the Dutch team. Look at the distance he has covered. He's covered close to 44 kilometers. He's covered 43.2 kilometers in the entire World Cup, and that's an exciting. That's a crazy stat to have actually. And not just that, if you look at his gameplay against the US team, he had 2 assists and 1 goal. Look at the way in which he was completely dominant on the right hand side. He was cutting in, he was trying to put those crosses in for Memphis Depay, for Cody Gakpo, and also with the pace he's got in the right hand region. Someone like an Acuna or even Tagliafico, for example, will have a tough time covering him because he's quick. He can cut in very quick, and also crosses. His crosses are pinpoint. So the likes of Otamendi, likes of Romero, likes of Lisandro Martinez should be very, very, very aware of the crosses which he is going to put in. Firstly, Acuna will have to do the defensive work, right? And also that's why someone like a McAllister who like to drop in left half spaces would like to do the defensive work rate for them. Because with Messi and Di Maria up front, you barely get any defensive work rate. Also with Julian Alvarez, the defensive work rate of the front three is very, very minimal in the Argentina team. That's where the midfielders like Enzo Fernandez, like so Rodrigo Di Paul, like so McAllister will have to do a lot more defensive work rate for this team, and like they will have to cover a lot of ground. Their off the ball movements are going to be so important for this particular game. And that's why Dutch team versus Argentina is going to be one mouth watering clash to watch out for. For Argentina, another player has been what they call the spider, the attacking force of Julian Alvarez. He's been very impressive. Julian Alvarez has been having a good time when it comes to his goal scoring form. Lautaro Martinez has really looked underconfident in front of the goal. That's why they have preferred for Julian Alvarez, who can make the in behind runs. With Lautaro Martinez, what you get is a player who drops deep in the midfield. His hold up play is very good, but when you have Messi and Di Maria, who's already there to drop deep, you need a player to make the in behind runs. And that's exactly what Julian Alvarez brings in. Also, he's got good pace, and his goal scoring form also has been good. Rodrigo De Paul is facing a slight injury concern which is looming over his head. If he's fit, he's another player to watch out from the Argentina camp. And when it comes to the Dutch camp, of course, you will have to look into another player, which is Frankie de Jong. Let's look at the most take-ons, right? Because this World Cup has all been about some players having receiving the ball, deep in the midfield and taking on the defenders from there. Angel Di Maria for Argentina has been outstanding. He did miss out in the last game, but then he's fit to go against Netherlands, and he's going to be an important factor for this team. And of course, you already have a Leo Messi there as well, and also Cody Gakpo on the list. So it is very interesting. Angel Di Maria with 9 take-ons, Leo Messi with 9 take-ons, and also Cody Gakpo with 5 take-ons. But when you talk about Leo Messi, his entire career has been about take-ons, ball reception in the deep, and taking on the defenders and progressing it up front. So that's something which you get with Leo Messi. Altogether, a mouth-watering clash, a repeat of the 2014 semi-final, a long-lost history between the two. If you talk about 1978, if you talk about 2014, Dutch team have always come close of winning it, but they've never actually gotten their hands on the World Cup trophy. Is this the year for Argentina, or is it time for Leo Messi to really clinch the most coveted trophy in football? That's going to be interesting. Now let's move to the next game, what we have in hand. It is England versus the France national team, the defending champions. They are looking extremely good. Though, despite of all the injuries in their camp, they've been working as a force. They've had the mentality. The defensive team has really come together. Likes of Varane, likes of Konate. Everybody has stepped up when it comes to and one of the most impressive players for the French national team this World Cup has been Antoine Griezmann and Giroud, because Giroud's form has been so pivotal for this French national team, because him as a striker has also scored goals, because they're missing out on a Benzema and his goal scoring ability. That's when someone like Giroud has stepped up. But let's look at the English team, right? They've been so consistent in the last 4 years. They led to the knockouts. They've gone deep in almost every tournament, and that's what makes them special. What is something which they've been doing, which a lot of other teams are not. Let's look at them historically. How they've really been more fast and direct, to how they've been very slow and intricate. If you look, the build-up is one of the keys in this World Cup. If you can see that paradigm shift from 2016 Euros to 2018 World Cup, then the Euros of 2020, then the World Cup of 2022. It is a paradigm shift in the way they're looking to build up from their arc. The likes, historically, the English football teams have always been about putting the balls in, making a long ball in, waiting for the strikers to run in, putting a penetrative pass from a defender to the striker. There was no build-up play. But here, the build-up play, likes of John Stones, likes of Kyle Walker, likes of Luke Shaw, Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham, they've really brought this team to build. Their build-up play has been exceptional. Playing from the back, has really helped this team to really helped this team to have a proper shape through the course of their transitions, especially the attacking transitions. Let's compare them with the teams who have been building up from the back. One has been Argentina, one has been England, and next Spain. Of course, we know Spain's philosophy has always been about tiki taka. Very surprising to see England there. Many would be very surprised because that's something which Gareth Southgate has embedded into this team. They've been very confident on the ball, and remember, most of the players in this particular English team are part of systems in their club football who are very comfortable in playing with the ball. John Stones, for example, Phil Foden, Bukayo Saka. These lads have been outstanding in terms of that. Look at John Stones and his ball carries. But John Stones has had 66 ball carries through the course of the World Cup. And that's an exceptional stat to have. That's something which you see from John Stones whenever he wears the City colours as well. And that's given Southgate the confidence that Pickford can pass the ball to John Stones, and John Stones is press resistant. He can progress the ball to a Declan Rice, then Declan Rice can progress the ball to a Henderson or a Jude Bellingham. That's something which has really helped this English team in terms of the build-up play as well. But is that all when it comes to this, right? We talk about Harry Kane. Let's talk about Harry Kane because Harry Kane and Luke Shaw, right? Harry Kane is another player who's been outstanding for them. Has he been on the stats when it comes to goal scoring form? Not really. But when it comes to his older play, when it comes to his pass accuracy, he has had 27 successful passes in the final third. That's an exceptional stat to have for a player like Harry Kane because he's been holding up the ball, which has helped someone like a Phil Foden or a Bukayo Saka to make cut into the space inside the box, and then he makes that final pass through to Bukayo Saka. In attacking transition, England have formed like an attacking five with the likes of Luke Shaw, Bukayo Saka, Harry Kane, Phil Foden, and Jude Bellingham. That's really helped them. Now look at the attacking sequence involvements, right? You have Luke Shaw, who's been impressive. His form in Manchester United was definitely questioned because defensively he was extremely vulnerable. Attacking wise, he was unable to make those progression up front. Hence, Tyler Malaysia came and replaced him in United. But for this English team, he's been outstanding when it comes to the ball progression. He's been doing an exceptional work. He's been able to progress the ball into the final third. Time and time again, we talk about him and his ability to make it to the final third and put that final ball in. And that's something which Luke Shaw has done exceedingly well. But what about Harry Kane? Harry Kane has been another player who's done that with perfection for this English team, and he continues to do that. Every time you get amazed with what Harry Kane is able to pull up within every World Cup. He's played the leader's role with perfection for this team, and that's one thing about the English team, and that's what makes this English team stand apart. Let's go to the French national team because at the start of this World Cup, the players like N'Golo Kante, Paul Pogba, all were injured. So the onus was on young midfielders like so Kamavinga. Rabiot had to step in because he was out of form even for Juventus team. So it was for Rabiot to step up, for likes of Ollie and Chouameni, who had an exceptional season with Real Madrid to step up. But then have they stepped up? Let's look at the midfielders. Let's look at the way in which the French national team has lined up, right? Orlin Chouameni has been an outstanding player. Orlin Chouameni, look at him and his final third passes. His defensive work rate has been outstanding. At the same time in which he has progressed the ball, to someone like an Antoine Griezmann, make those penetrative passes into the final third. Him linking up with Ousmane Dembele, his vertical balls have been outstanding. Where he's played the diagonal balls onto the right hand side for Ousmane Dembele to have the reception and Ousmane Dembele to cut in and put the ball in for Giroud or Mbappe. That's outstanding to watch as well through the course of this World Cup. And also, if you look at the way in which Chouameni has really helped the creativity factor, when you don't have a Pogba, you need a player who can do both the defensive work rate and also who can put in a shift when it comes to attacking progression. That's something which Orlan Chouameni has done very well. Now look at that successful. He has had 33 successful attempts in that entire pass when it comes to his entire time, and also Uli missed out on four unsuccessful what he has really missed out on. But despite all that, he has been the engine room for the French national team, and he's had an outstanding World Cup so far. And if he goes on to have a good game against, English national team, of course, you can imagine that French national team will be on the verge of qualifying into the semi-final and the final as well. But then, as we already did a video on Mbappe, let's talk about the talisman for this French national team. It is none other than Kylian Mbappe. 5 goals this World Cup, Look at the number of key passes he's had in the final third. Outstanding. He's had a couple of assists as well from that from various points in the inside the box. Him able to him able to get inside the box, able to take on the defenses in terms of his dribbling ability, in terms of him trying to cut inside the box. It's been outstanding, and that's what makes Kylian Mbappe a X factor player. Remember, he's had the most number of attacking sequence involvement as well in this World Cup, and he's on the verge of breaking maybe the all-time French national record of a World Cup, an all-time record held by Fontaine in a World Cup in 1958, which is 13 goals. If he goes on to have 3 good games, that record can be broken. But then it's tough, of course. That's very far, it's a far-fetched thing. But then Kylian Mbappe has carried this French team. The expectation was on Kylian Mbappe before the start of the World Cup, and he has delivered for this French national team. That's the most outstanding part about this youngster. He's really come of age in this World Cup, you can say. If France national team goes on to defend the crown, you can imagine that this guy has reached that level where you can really call him one of the best players to ever play the game as well. 2 World Cups back to back, 2 outstanding World Cups, great season with PSG. He's been in the form of his life for sure. So, guys, do remember to check all our videos out. I hope you like this video, so do share this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the like button so that we can bring you more of this content, keep you informative, and we can bring you more of this content so you can be given the information about every stat. You can be also made aware about everything. And also remember to check out our sports psychology course, as I already mentioned at the start of the video, because it'll help you to have a deep understanding of what goes on into a Kylian Mbappe's mind in such a young age. How is he able to perform in such great levels? What goes on into a Leo Messi's mind? How is he? How does he prepare before a big game? What goes on into Cristiano Ronaldo's mind? How does he bring his elite game in big occasions? So do check that out. The link is in the bio, and also do check our cricket analytics workshop as well if you're a aspiring cricket analyst. And remember, the cricket season is long. There's a lot more. There's an IPL auction coming up in 20 days. You want to know how does a team form in an auction table? How do they build a team? For that, check out our cricket, of course, cricket analysis workshop. And having said that, have a good time, all of you. Enjoy the World Cup, and we'll be back very soon.